Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Friday Happy Talk here with me, Healing with Marcus, on YouTube. Hope you're doing wonderful. I hope you're doing really, really good and that your week is going wonderful. Now, the Happy Talks were originally meant to be an uplifting every week situation for people when they are either leaving work on a Friday or just to kind of give a reflection both on current situations in our lives and also to kind of translate spiritual teachings into a everyday modern day thing so that they became a little more understandable. Because I started doing my meditation, like I have been a spiritual seeker and searcher for a very long time. And about 10 years ago, I ended up running into the absolute, complete, utter stillness. And from there, I started meditating. And now I had a place to go in my meditation, which was the complete absence of thought. It was the complete silence beyond our thoughts. And in having found that space, I wanted to share it with others. At first, it was for me to meditate on. And then as I kept kind of learning and changing and growing and silence kept helping me in my life, I also wanted to share it with others. So as that started happening, I started doing happy talks. And now they are more here. They're going to be live talks every week, a few times a week at least. And I'm super grateful that you're here. Super grateful to be sharing this message with people. And because it's not my message, this is just a regular message of spiritual teachings. And of course, it's coming through me and my experience, but it's not my message. There's so many teachers that have said the exact same thing over thousands of years. And this knowledge is as old as human beings. We know a lot more than what we think nowadays. One way to look at that is to say, because, modern day society, we have this, pride or hubris or, false sense of courage or knowing that we think there's this underlying thinking that in modern day society, we know everything with science, right? So everything has been figured out through science. And because of that, we are the only people for the last 200-300 years who knows about reality. Before that, they were all full of stories, fantasies, religious beliefs or just fantasies. And when we say that, we don't realize that human beings have been there for at least 200,000 years. And for about 196,000 or 194,000 years, human beings lived as hunters and gatherers, cave people. We moved around. We lived in tents, teepees. We were tribal. We lived in smaller societies. Sometimes we lived in bigger cities, but that was within the last 6,000 years or so. It seems like. Now, of course, I don't know. Nobody knows the whole truth about that because, well, some people might, but I don't. And modern day science has a lot of insights in very small subjects and very detailed oriented things. But there's also a lot of signs that science are missing or is missing. Like, and today we're missing to it. There was a city in Peru that was, what was it, like 6,000 years old, 4,000 years old. And they only found it 1975. And there was one city they found in 1948 that was the same age in Chile. So like we have this belief that we know the world. And now, the last maybe 10, 15 years, they have found a lot more pyramids underwater in different places outside of Japan, outside of Yugoslavia, and even outside of South America or Mexico, they have found pyramids as well. And those are underwater because they probably fell into from above water to underwater. And there's just a lot of things that we are not aware of that human beings have known for a very long time. And like I said, today we're living in this fallacy and this idea that because of science telling us exactly how this functions, people before us didn't know anything. And fortunately, that's not true. fortunately, human beings have known a lot for a long time, because we have an access to a higher sense of knowing, where there's a lot of things that, like, if you look at how the Bible was written, and I'm not a Christian, so I'm not trying to promote the Bible, but I am saying that there are certain things about even Genesis, which is the creation book, the book of creation. It talks about how the world was built. And, we all know they talk about 7 days, and they talk about, it starts with, first there was nothing, and then there was the sound, and then there was, light, and then there was something else and something else and something else. And slowly the world was created. There was, fire on the earth, and there was rain on the earth, and, all of that stuff, right? Now, when we look at, for example, which is before Christianity, Hinduism was an old teaching from about 4,000 years ago, where it started. They talk about 1 year in their time count is 72,000 to, 250,000 years or something like that, or even more. So with their time count, the way they counted time in Hindu times, 1 day might have been, at least 120,000 years or something like that, like a lot of years for one day. So then if you start counting in billions of years, or at least millions of years, we end up having more of an accurate count on how the world was shaped. But the events that happened, the same events that took place in the Bible, just not every day, took place according to science too. So when science tells us how the world was created, they say that, first there was nothing, then there was the sound, and then there was light, and then there was, matter and rain and fire and all of that stuff. Like the volcanoes on Earth came, and then that created the atmosphere, which created rain, which created, I forget which order everything happened in, but it was oxygen as well came into being right there. So suddenly, if you look at Genesis, it has the same order of events that we have in science. And how human beings would know that 2,000 years ago, or maybe even longer ago, when they wrote the old books that are in the Bible, then we start looking to a place of, like, how did they know things that we think only science can figure out? And that's where we get into much deeper realms of existence. We get into much deeper realms of understanding. And in our modern day society, we have completely left that behind. We think it's all fantasy. We think it's all mumbo jumbo, make believe. We don't realize that the teachings of old is as real today as they ever were before. And that slowly we're starting to understand the importance of Earth Mother's health, for example. Hopefully we're understanding that in time. We may not, but hopefully we are. Hopefully we're moving into our world with a new connection to Earth Mother, where we understand that we got to take care of Mother Earth. We got to take care of the health of all plants and all life, not just human life. We have this extremely self-centered view of the world, where we think that because we are humans and we are so smart, we think we only need to take care of ourselves, which is just so wrong. We're so mistaken. We are so mistaken. In reality, we are here to take care of the whole creation, not just ourselves. And why? Because we can, because we understand. Why are we special? Because we understand love. Do we live by it? No. But we could. Some of us try. That's what makes human beings a little different. Of course, all animals understand love. All beings understand love. If you look at how a mother deer takes care of its baby deer, or if you look at like any of the fawn, right, or any of the animals, you see the motherly love coming to the kittens or whatever. You recognize that that's real love. And for human beings, we have just ended up being able to expand that to others as well. And when we get into our true nature, we're not predators. When we're in our true nature, we're helpers, we're lovers, we're teachers, we're helpers. Like, we want to help everybody out when we're in our true nature. When we live in fear, that's when we start taking. And our true nature, to get in touch with our true nature, I found that meditation is what helps. Going back into heart, going back into ourselves. That's what works. Because in that space, there is no fear. When we go deep in here, there's no fear. We're going to take a few moments of stillness. Just feel the sound go through you, go deep into you, penetrate the walls around your heart, into your heart. Drop your mind into your heart. I hope you could feel that stillness inside of you. I hope you got to experience that. And if you didn't, feel free to try out some of the meditations that are on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And I hope you're doing wonderful. If anybody who's watching these would like some more material that's just for a specific group, you can join the Patreon group on patreon.com, find Healing with Marcus. Or if you just want more meditations, you can look at this channel on YouTube. And you can also get in touch with me for Reiki healings or shamanic work. All of it is beautiful. And we're all here together. We're all here to do this work together, to grow, to make, to both save ourselves and the world. Save Earth Mother. Okay, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And I hope I will talk to you soon.